Assalamu alaikum and good morning. The topic that I will be presenting today is Flutter versus React Native, which is a better platform to develop mobile apps. Have you ever struggled with choosing the right framework for your mobile app project? Well, today I will be talking about Flutter and React Native, two of the most popular frameworks to help you decide what platform is better to use for mobile app development. I will be talking about the key differences between the two frameworks, the pros and cons, and when to choose each framework. Hopefully, by the end of this video, you will be able to decide which framework is better for your next mobile app project. Framework overview. Before getting into the two frameworks, I would like to explain what natively compiled apps and cross platforms are. Natively compiled apps are compiled to run directly on the application. When you compile native mobile apps, the source code, which is human readable, is actually converted to binary code, which is machine readable, and it executes from there. With non-native apps, that is not the case. Cross-platform frameworks are tools and libraries that allow developers to create apps that work on multiple operating systems and devices with a single code base. Moving on to the first framework, which is Flutter framework. Flutter is a software development kit which was first introduced by Google in May 2017 at Google I/O in efforts of simplifying cross-platform development. It is an open source framework designed and supported by Google. Front-end and full-stack developers use Flutter to build applications user interface (UI) for multiple platforms with a single code base. User interface is how a user interacts with an application, that is website, using audio and video features such as fonts, icons, animations, and sound. It is basically how the app looks. The development goal of Flutter is to provide a framework that allows developers to create natively compiled apps for multiple platforms using a single code base. By 2025, Flutter has become one of the top choices for cross-platform app development. Moving on to the second framework, which is the React Native framework. React Native is a popular JavaScript-based mobile app library. It was first developed in 2013 as an internal Facebook project, but it was released to the public on the 26th of March 2015. It is a free open source framework which is a pre-built software development tool that is available to the public for free, that allows developers to create mobile apps for iOS and Android using JavaScript and React. It is a front-end development, but it can work with other developments to ensure quality across the application. It has pre-built components, which includes ready-to-use native components that developers can use to build user interface. Its core structure enables the app to function seamlessly across multiple platforms while using the same logic and design components. Moving on to the comparison factors. I will be comparing Flutter and React Native side by side as we need to consider several key factors based on your projects. First of all, we have performance and learning. Flutter uses Dart, which is a programming language that is natively compiled to code for both iOS and Android, which leads to higher performance, especially for complex apps and animation, so there is no bridge between the code and the native platform. But it requires learning. Dart. Developers that are familiar with OOP languages may find it easy to learn, but for those used to JavaScript will have some additional learning to do. React Native uses JavaScript, which is interpreted at runtime. While React Native can achieve good performance, but while communicating with native components, it relies on another medium to communicate, which can lead to a holdup in the performance of the app. JavaScript is popular, so learning curve is slightly shallow. Second, we have development speed. Flutter offers a rich set of pre-designed widgets, hot reload, and a high customizable user interface. Flutter provides more control over the UI, which is great for custom and polished designs. However, it might take longer for the developers to get used to who are not familiar with Dart. React Native uses JavaScript, which most of the developers are familiar with, which makes the development process faster. React Native's hot reload feature also speeds up development. Third, we have UI and code reusability. Flutter code can be shared across platform and as it provides a large set of built-in widgets that ensure consistency across the platform, making it easier to create custom beautiful UIs. It does not rely on native components, allowing consistency across different platforms. However, some platform-specific customization may still be needed. React Native code reuse is high, but there can be need for platform-specific adjustments, and since React Native relies on native components, which leads to the UI behaving differently on iOS and Android, unless it's customized. Some features may require separate code for iOS and Android. This gives a more native feel and requires more effort to ensure consistency across platforms. On 4, we have community and ecosystem. Flutter has an active and a growing community but is newer as compared to React Native. It offers a great support from Google with good documentation and expanding number of libraries and plugins. But you might need to write platform specific code in Dart for some advanced native functionalities. React Native has a larger and more mature community with extensive documentation and a vast collection of third-party libraries and plugins. It is backed up by Facebook, which ensures consistent updates and improvement. It has an extensive support for native modules, making it easier to integrate with native devices features such as camera and GPS. On number 5, we have platform support. Flutter supports iOS and Android and also has a growing support for web, desktop, macOS, Windows, and Linux, and smart devices, etc., making it a versatile option for cross-platform development. React Native, the primary focus is on iOS and Android but has some experimental support for web and desktop platform via extensions like React Native Web. However, its support for non-mobile platform is not as stable as or comprehensive as Flutter's. And number 6, we have maturity and stability. Flutter. Although newer, Flutter has gained significant traction and is becoming more stable with each release. It's backed by Google, which ensures its long-term support and development. React Native is more mature and stable, having been in development since 2015. It's used by many big companies like Facebook, Instagram, and Airbnb, which contributes to its stability and reliability. Cost of development. Flutter allows for high code reuse across platforms. The development cost can be lower compared to the building separate native apps for iOS and Android. In React Native also offers a high code reuse, but depending on the complexity of the app, platform-specific customizations may raise costs, especially for performance-heavy features. Lastly, job market and developer availability. Being relatively new, Flutter, the number of developers skilled in Flutter is smaller than React Native. However, it's growing fast as the demand for Flutter developers increases. React Native uses JavaScript, which is a more popular known programming language, which can make it easier to find developers for your project. Here are some images that show some graphical representation of the usage between Flutter and React Native. It shows that over the past years, there has been a rise in Flutter usage as compared to React Native. It's possible that in the following coming years that the Flutter usage will increase and it will be the next big thing in the market. Now I will be talking about some famous apps that use Flutter and which use React Native. Apps using Flutter include Google Ads, Alibaba, which is an e-commerce platform, Reflectly, which is an AI-driven journaling app, and BMW, Automotive Customer App. The ideal use cases of using Flutter can be of making e-commerce apps, social media apps, multi-platform tools, and media apps. Flutter is best suited for apps requiring highly custom UIs, fast performance, and cross-platform support for both mobile and web/desktop. Moving on to apps that were built with React Native include Facebook, Instagram, Skype, and Tesla. The ideal use cases of React Native can be of making startups and MVPs, making business apps, and apps with standard UI requirements. React Native is ideal for applications that need a quick development cycle, especially for apps that rely heavily on native features and have standard UIs. Lastly, I will be talking about when to choose each framework. Well, if you prioritize performance, a highly customized and running UI, cross-platform support for mobile, web, and desktop, or if you're building a new app where you want consistency across platforms, then the right choice would be Flutter. If you prefer faster development with an expertise in JavaScript, need a larger community and ecosystem, or are integrating with native features or pre existing systems, React Native might be the choice. I would like to add the right tool depends on your project's needs, so choose wisely. In conclusion, both Flutter and React Native are powerful tools for cross platform mobile app development. But the best choice depends on your project specific needs and priorities. Ultimately, there is no one size fits all answer. Assess your team's skills, project complexity, and long term goals to make the most informed decision. Evaluate your project's priorities and team skills to make the best choice for your app development journey. Remember, the right framework can be different between a good app and a great one. Thank you.